Hello everyone, today I'm going to go over XP. A lot of people in chat as well as everyone looking in the game is always wondering how to do their XP now. Since the new XP changes have come in, the way to level has come into a little bit of a difference and has almost become a new meta shift in leveling. So let's go over that today and explain everything you need to know about leveling up your heroes. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more Call of Dragons daily content with me, MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator. And today, what we're going to be going over is XP. Since a lot of things have changed since before, obviously, the patch, we've been able to only now go to level 50 or before we have to do PvP. Gathering heroes can only gain XP, so there's a lot to cover, so let's go over everything. We're going to go and explain the basic fundamentals of XP and what you should be leveling to give maybe some guys a nice little basic understanding what you should be doing, and then we're going to go over a lot of the changes and the best way, in my opinion, to level up right now. So, when we're going into the game, what's happened is you need to be able to pick 5 heroes at the start of the game. This is even when you're a very beginner account. And when you get 5 heroes, what you're going to be able to do with them is basically select out of your roster a main tank, some sort of DPS heroes, as well as, you know, another frontline tank, maybe in the cavalry tree, or maybe another, you know, infantry, depending on who you're going to run. So what you're going to do is pick your 5 heroes. Once you pick those 5 heroes, that is going to be your starting lineup, what you're going to be leveling up. And those are going to be, like I say, in a formation of at least 2 tanky frontline units that could be infantry, cavalry based, or even overall, you know, depending on what their mix based are. And then you need 3 DPS units, and you're always going to be working from that. You know, even at the start of the game with only 3 marches or 2 marches, you're going to have 1 tank, 1 DPS, and then you're going to have 1 tank, 2 DPS, then you're going to move up to 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and then finally 2 tanks, 3 DPS, right? So that's how the progression for your march system is going to work. So when you do have access to all the heroes now, pick your 5 main heroes. So in this instance, I did a Freyga, Nico, I did Lilia, and then Nika, as well as my Emrys, and those were my primary hero commanders what I started out with. And then once they hit level 20, what I did was then deputy the commanders I would like them to be fighting alongside, as you can see. So that's why we've got a nice roster of 10 heroes, all within 40 to 42 of each other, because we've been able to focus on that progression. So when it comes to XP itself, it's pretty simple. And I think the way you want to go about it is the same as before. So what we're going to do early game is try and smash out your patrols. You're going to start, especially when you're in the very first stage, go from level 1 all the way up to level 10 as fast as possible. This gives you 2,000 XP, so with 2 marches or 5 marches, depending on what you're running, that's 10,000 XP gained for all of those heroes. When your heroes then do get their deputy slots, people are wondering, how is the XP shared? And it's pretty simple. It's the same premise as before, but because now there's 2 heroes in the march, this XP will be shared by 50%. So for example, right now we have 12,100 XP as this base XP for this patrol, meaning if I attacked it with a single hero, I will get 12,100. Or if I do it with a level 20 hero and then the level 1 deputy, the deputy and the main hero is going to share this, which gives them 6,050 XP each. That is not including any of your buffs or research or policies that you have. The way those work, they always are a percentage. So if you add all of the numbers up together, so if in total you have 35, 50% extra XP, you would get this number divide it by 50%, for example. So again, 6,050, and then add that on. So in total, this would be an 18,150 march, and then you would split that number by 2, and that is the total XP gained between those 2 marches. So I hope that explains how XP is distributed and shared between patrols when you are killing them. And in the early game, you can do a variety of things. Some people do not like killing the level 10 marches, because obviously these are only giving 2,000 XP, but when you have 5 marches across, this is 10,000 XP, which is very beneficial. But there's certain times in the game which you could avoid these. You could even avoid these if you have certain things like Eliana puppets. These are really good. Yes, they only give 3,000 XP per rally, but the main importance of them is the fact they give you a ton of resources, a ton of speed ups, and as a free-to-play player and a low spender, it gives you access to a very versatile free tank hero that you're going to be able to use whenever you like in the future for, you know, infantry, cavalry, mage, you name it. She can be paired as a main or deputy depending on what you would like to be using her for. So really, really good access for XP in that regards. So now let's go over the way I would advise going for over your XP leveling experience, because it is going to change now, because as you guys know, gathering heroes can only gain XP from gathering, which is still fine. As you notice, these gathering heroes here are going to get a ton of XP. However, someone like Ordo that you're going to need building, I would advise to use some of your books on him once you've got your main heroes up and leveled up to around, you know, level 30 or so. Then you can work on the Ordo if you need him very desperately, right? So that is at the moment the problem with Ordo. I do apologize for him. He was an amazing XP gathering hero, but now he doesn't get any XP, so it's kind of a bit of a punishment on his behalf. But with the gathering experience, we still do the exact same trick as before, guys. So when you're a level 1 hero, you want to be able to unlock Earth's Grace. So you want to pump at least, I believe, 500 XP into Chakchar and your Keller and Japan and your Indis with XP books from your Dragontrials that you would have completed early game. And that would allow you to get the early talents in place to obviously get these guys moving. So let's now show some more ways to earn XP, because obviously we've talked about the patrols, we've talked about the Elianas, and as I just mentioned, you need your Dragontrials. So in the early game, this is honestly, guys, the biggest XP contribution you'll ever get passively when playing the game, so you have to try and push this. So in the early game, what we do, and this is the big starting of the tips, is to try and push as far as possible, as you guys know. But on day 1, you should be able to at least push to around stage 35, going all the way up to 45. And depending on if you're a very tech or strength, strong player, you'll be able to hit 50 and 55 if you're a T5 player. So you can sometimes get this far as well, depending on your individual strength. Depends on obviously your grind. But the first day is important, trying to hit as high as possible on this Dragontrials. Even if you aim for at least stage 35, the amount of XP you're going to gain when logging in is exponential. So already you can see we've gained 11,000 XP within 3 hours and 45 minutes. And that is because we have already 186 stars, because we are now currently down here in position 64 when we're starting to fight and kill the last 15-ish of the Dragontrials. So what you want to do in the early game as a player is as the following. You're going to summon your 5 main marches that you're going to be using to level up. So as we said, pick your 5 marches. This will be your 2 main front lines and your 3 tanks. You're going to then start killing these patrols to get them from level 1 all the way up to 10. So you're killing the highest level barb, and you're going to obviously be emptying CP, killing only the level 10 barbs. So once you've reached that and you've emptied out your CP and you've leveled up your heroes, what you'll notice is that you're going to be able to go into your Dragontrials. And by doing that, you're going to be able to finish at least, like we was talking about, around, say, stage 10 to 15. And once you complete stages 10 to 15 with the prestige you have earned, you would then go into your policies. And by going into your policies, what this will do for your XP is quite extraordinary. You'll start unlocking the basic premises, as you guys know, doing the minimum requirements to get to Military Expansion 2, and then start leveling this to be at least 5 or 7 out of 15. Once this gets to about 7 or 5 out of 15, you can go back and actually put some points into War Study to give yourself a 3.5% XP boost. This is again going to help you when you have 5 out of 15 increase here, because this in total is going to add up to, I believe, 7% or 6% if the maths are correct. So with that and your tech that you'll be gaining, you're going to have a nice amount of base XP every start of the season when you're playing. What you will then do, as your account obviously has now pushed a little bit of the policies, you will then be able to go back into Dragontrials. And by going into Dragontrials, you're going to be able to then push again to around stages maybe 30, going on to 40. And then you might get stuck around here because obviously your heroes haven't leveled up enough, which is fine. But by doing that in the first day, you have given yourself a massive XP boost in leveling your heroes early game. So what we do from there is quite interesting, because the XP path is obviously changed, as you guys know. So if you go into the heroes now and we check out the question mark, it does say after level 50 we only get XP through PvP battles, which is true. So with the current meta, or the current rulings of trying to level your heroes up, where it makes the most sense and you get the most XP benefit for your account, is as follows. You're going to be killing patrols from levels 1 all the way to your hero gets to around level 43 to 45. It is up to you how early you want to switch. And by killing patrols between levels 1 to 45, you obviously unlock your main talent that's going to do the most damage, and then you obviously can start going towards wherever you are main going. But what that allows you to do then means you only have 5 or so levels left to go before you've hit that max cap of level 50 when you need to go into PvP, which means what you would then do, and what we are starting to do on this account, is then press F, and instead of killing your level 20 patrols that I would be doing, for example, we would only be killing level 20 dark creatures. Why? When you search for any of these creatures that might be nearby, let's see if we can find a 19 at least. You're going to gain only 3,000 XP, which is okay. Around all those units, that's about 15,000 XP per kill. But the more important thing you're going to gain is the arcane dust. Because during this time, this is again within the first week or 2 weeks, you'll have got your heroes already between level 30 to 40 plus easily if you follow this strat. And by doing that now, you're going to be able to then pump all the XP that you've been missing in your artifacts, obviously now into these artifacts. So if we go into details and start to level up, as you can see, we have a bunch of arcane dust now ready to push the levels up on my artifact. And we need to get this to around level 40 to give it more damage and obviously more effectiveness when it comes into PvE and PvP combat. So I hope that makes sense to you guys and the current strategy of XP. I'm going to go over it again as a nice summary now for you at the end of the video, and if you need to, we'll go back and you can obviously rewatch each segment. So the general rule is pick a 2 tank lineup with 3 DPS. You're going to get those heroes from levels 1 to 20 as fast as possible by killing patrols at level 10, and by doing so you'll unlock the deputy slot. By then you want to select a deputy to obviously pair with those marchers. Obviously it's up to you who you pair. Everyone's account is different and I cannot obviously tell everyone what you need. It is obviously, there's different guides that I do have for you to answer those questions. But you obviously pair with who you would like to pair with on your main commander. And then you would again carry on killing those patrols to level up your heroes to around level 40 to 45. And then once you hit that gap of 45, you can then stop killing patrols and then focus on dark creatures, because then you are going to be highly leveling up your artifacts. So then your commanders that are already level 40, already hitting the level 50 cap eventually, will also have level 60 or 50, depending on how leveled your artifacts will be, obviously on them as a secondary option. So this is why we're going this route. I hope it makes sense. You level up your heroes as fast as possible by doing it this way, and then you can then use your artifacts. When you do get introduced as a bonus tip now to the Stars Reignited campaign, guys, you'll notice there's a little house icon up here. And the house icon is the village management system that got teased in the patch notes. And what this allows you to do as well is gain a bunch of hero XP. So as you can see already, I am on 21% bonus XP. So whenever I'm killing anything on top of all my policies, I'm already gaining around, I believe it's 43% total hero XP when I kill a single patrol. So that's amazing and a really fast, efficient way to level up. So obviously that is only applicable to those guys in the new campaign, Stars Reignited, and that will be something the global players will get access to soon once you obviously get done with your first set of migrations. So that is the new XP guide. I hope that makes sense what you want to be doing. Obviously leveling up your heroes in that order. Remember, this is not to do with your skills, but just to give you guys anything at the end, because I know what you like. Remember, your star level should always be 1 star until you're level 5 on that first skill. You can continually level up to level 40 while this is still, locked at the only 1 skill. So don't worry about it. So make sure this is skill 5 first, and then go to 1, 1, 1, and then you can obviously star up once you've done that, right? So I hope that makes sense. That's me, MrSneakyy, peacing out with another amazing guide for you, up to date in the way we are playing the game on the main super server now, with all the new heroes obviously and the new XP changes. So if you found this video informative, smash a like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more daily Call of Dragons content with me, MrSneakyy. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, peace out.